method where we could calculate the volume of this apple by slicing this up into individual discs and then adding the volumes of those individual discs. So there is another way you could calculate the volume of the apple. So that is, if you did peel this off, and each peel will get a little bit smaller as you go in, and if you add up the volume of all those shells, so they would add up to the volume of the half of the apple that we have. So let's see what it looks like. So the first, when I peel this, well, it's not going too well, but see, I want you to see one thing. As I get closer to the center, the size of my peels, the height would get larger. The height would be more. So as I get closer to the center, this height is going to be more. Can you see it? Whereas this overall radius would get a little bit smaller. So if I could somehow manage to do this all the way around, okay, this is a little bit better. But anyway, let's take a look at these two here. So this one is longer, but a little bit thinner. This one is, the height is more, but still the radius is a little bit smaller. So how do I get the volume of this apple? So if I took this, and now the area, this would be 2 pi r. So that would be, the 2 pi r would be the circumference. And then if I took that circumference, multiplied with the height. So if I took the circumference, multiplied with the height, and multiplied it with a small amount of thickness, so that would give me the volume. So if I add up all these little pieces, the volumes of every one of these, so this one and this, and of course the broken ones, but if I could get each of them into a smaller and smaller shell would be something, this is a shell. If I added up the volumes of all those, so that would give me the volume of this apple. So again, we take 2 pi r, that is the circumference. We have to multiply with the height, right? And then with the thickness, whatever that is. So let's go see how the math would look like.
Okay, our cooking show is done. So let's get to the math. So let's see, if you had seen my video on the disc method, I said the radius of the apple was roughly around 3 centimeters. And usually in the problem that you're given, you would have the graph along with the function given to you. So the graph may look something like this, and you might be told that it's rotated around the x-axis, something like this. So this is the rotation, not the graph itself. So this would be forming a solid essentially by it as it rotates around x-axis. So this would be sort of like our half an apple shape. So this would be the kind of the graph, and that is the one that is everything under this is rotated around the x-axis, and it forms our half the apple shape. So now the function y is equal to square root of 9 minus x square. And this is my apple is not really spherical, but we are assuming it is sort of spherical, and it's almost x square plus y square is equal to 3 square, which is 9, and with that you get y equal to 9 minus x square and square root of that. And similarly, if you want to get x in terms of y, x is going to be equal to square root of 9 minus y square. So radius is equal to y, and this is the shell that we cut out in the video. So this is how each of those shells are. It has a small thickness, and so we take the volume of that and then add up all the other shells so that are formed also. So for example, if I want to take one of the shells from the inside part of it, so that would be coming over somewhere over here, and it would sort of look like this. So it would have a much larger height, but it would be radius will be a little bit smaller. And so we're going to try to calculate the volume of each of the shells and add them up together. Adding up is, as far as the calculus goes, it is same thing as integration. So what's the area of each of my shells? So this is the circumference is 2 pi y, and height x is equal to, this is the height, and that's same thing as x, but when it's mentioned in terms of y, it's going to be square root of 9 minus y square. And so the volume of each of these shells is 2 pi y times square root of 9 minus y square, which is the height, times dy, which is the thickness. And if I want to calculate the volume, so I take the integration, and do we integrate over x-axis or y-axis? If we look at the picture, so you can see that this is along the y-axis that we are changing the value of y. So this is dy. When you have dy, you integrate over y-axis. And what is the value, the range it's going from 0 to 3. So the value changes, the radius changes from 0 to 3. So that's why we have the integration from 0 to 3, 2 pi y square root of 9 minus y square. And this is an interesting problem because the integration is, you have part of it under a radical and you have y outside. So this is a nice problem for a U substitution, to learn about U substitution. So the rule for U substitution is, if you have something like under a radical 9 minus y square, and if you take the derivative of this, if that turns out to be the term outside, then that's a good candidate for U substitution. So U is equal to 9 minus y square, du is equal to minus 2y dy. So you see here 2y dy. So this translates to dy equal to du over negative 2y. Now you could totally completely solve the integration problem, then convert u back into y and take the limits from 0 to 3, or we can leave it as u, but make sure that you convert the limits appropriately. In this case, if y is equal to 3, where the value of u would be 9 minus 3 square would be equal to 0, and if y is equal to 0, 9 minus y square, u is going to be equal to 9. So if you want to leave your answer in terms of u after integration and take the limits of the integration to be whatever is appropriate for u. So that's what we're going to do here. So 9 minus y square can be written, can be written as u, and so if you have instead of dy, we replace dy with du over minus 2y. So minus 2y and 2y kind of get, they do get cancelled out excepting for the negative sign. So to get rid of the negative sign, we just change the limits. So it would have been originally 0 to 9, change it from 0 to 9. That's the same thing as changing the by same thing as multiplying with a negative sign. So this 2y y gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled, and because of the sign change we change these limits, and you have pi times square root of 9 minus y square du. So that's equal to integral 0 to 9 pi times square root u du is equal to pi times, and this is u to the power of half. The formula is a straightforward formula for integration. So this is pi times u to the power of half divided by 3 over 2. So 3 over 2, you can flip it, or essentially dividing with 3 over 2 is same as multiplying with 2 over 3. So this becomes 2 over 3, and the u to the power of 3 over 2 is same as 9 to the power of 3 over 2, and the second term is just 0, so we don't, and that becomes a 0. So this is equal to, if you simplify it, you would get 18 pi, which is same answer that we got last time. Obviously either method the volume has to come out to be the same. So you can see there's a slight difference in the way it is handled, but we got to the same answer, and I think it's pretty interesting. So if you like the videos, subscribe or share. Thank you very much. We'll see you next video.